Hello, my fellow Shogun 2 players, Zaript here, with a 2v2 battle with me and Prussian Prince on one side and Winnetou and Secundus on other side. It's our rich pass, it's random matchmaking, and very nice opponents. They were very polite, I should say. But that's not the point, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to show you the whole battle, because the point I'm trying to make here isn't the battle itself, but topic of organizing your army. And people who really planted this idea in my head, for vanilla armies I mean, is Bravier Plenar and Majutz from RTK, because I was using some sort of grouping for Full of the Samurai armies, which I played and I still use it. It was like 2 or 3 line contingents and cavalry. Now, it's not working that well for vanilla armies, but let's see what I end up with. Like, I know that Majut's using up to 7 groups. I don't know how much Bravier uses, but probably very close. Here I am in this particular game. I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups, but usually it's up to 9. And what do I use? I have main cavalry contingent. This time it's light cavalry, 2 Naginata warrior monks, and spears of Shizugatake. I put it on 1. And it's very important, even if I don't have, like, I never used it, but if I sometimes, at some point I will try to use full infantry build, 1 still would be for cavalry. Because you don't want to think about buttons you're going to click. You want them always to be the same. Number 2 is my skirmishing cavalry. This time it's my general and my mounted gunners. No extended range. Number 3 is usually my special cavalry. It's katana cavalry sometimes it's Dunderbass. Then from 4, 5, 6 it's my matchlocks. As you can see, well, this probably everyone uses. If you don't use it, something wrong with you, because matchlock should always be in group with some spear unit, at least Naginata attendants. And you never move your matchlock alone. You always move it with supporting spears. And generally, some people combine a couple of matchlocks in one group. It may work in Full of the Samurai, but for vanilla, I recommend this grouping, and I will explain why later. Then 7, 8, 9 is for my main infantry, but because I have so many cavalry and the skirmishing component, I only have 4 strong infantry units. It's Bulletproof Samurai, Naginata Warrior Monks Vanilla, and 2 level 4 Naginata Warrior Monks. So it's 7 and 8. And I have sword attendants as a mid shield, sort of, and to eat up incoming charge if my opponent have strong Nadachi and charge me from front. Well, it's not necessarily, of course, Naginata Warrior Monks. They strong, but I got relatively good results by grouping, for example, level 4 Yari Samurai with level 6 Nadachis. Well, if you have good veterans. If not, it can be like, for example, Yari Ashigaru and 2 Nadachis level 2. Quite cost effective, but the whole point is these 2 groups of my infantry, they follow the same idea. They have at least 1 spear unit, relatively strong spear unit, and some killing power. Why is that so? Well, let me explain my game plan. It's pretty simple, and it's something I use, I call be an air. Not air of cottage, but air that we breathe from. And the idea is, if my opponent tries to hit me, he hits nothing. I'm like, it's like hitting an air. That's the whole idea. He tries to attack any of my groups, and it goes back, and my opponent have to expose his flank if he moves in one group. That's the whole idea. Like, look at this Winnetou, for example. He have very, very strong infantry contingent. Look, level 9, level 9, level 7, level 8, level 5 Negnata Warrior Monks, Bulletproof Samurai, and here he have this Negnata Warrior Monks with Banzai and Inspire, but they were so nice that I apologize him for that. In any case, very strong infantry contingent, but no cavalry. So if he was against me and he tried to attack me, I would move back in different directions. As basically it's what Bravier Plenar taught me. I'm basically stealing his idea here. And well, anyone who played against Miller Rush in Fall of the Samurai know this whole idea. You want to move in different directions from your enemy. And if he grouped like this Winnetou, he have to choose. Either he splits his units on a go. Look, he have everything in one group, and this will screw him over because he cannot easily split his army. He have to micro his units one by one in a big fight when he have units running from here. So he gave a couple of orders, and there is a huge chance that he would screw up. And for me, it's much easier because whenever I try to move back with my matchlocks, I know my matchlocks will always would be with spears. I know that I will not make this mistake of moving my matchlocks, but leaving them without protection, which is very important. Other thing that such a such a way of organizing my army helps. If you subscribe to Indie Pride channel, you have seen this video. 40 minutes. For 40 minutes, he discusses this idea with Bravier Plenar and Boss Tycoon. If you didn't see it, go and watch Indie Pride. His channel, Milks and Cookie Total War. I have it in my featured channel box on my channel. So if for some reason you didn't see that, go and look. And it's not original idea in a sense. Even I got to this idea at some point, like 4 or 5 months ago. If you go back on my channel and see my first game against Prussian Prince on Fall of the Samurai, I used the same idea. Basically, I have couple of groups, autonomous groups, and it allows me use cover bigger area using less units. Look, because Winnetou and Secundus put their units, very strong mounted gunners from Prussian Prince, completely unneeded, I believe, but they did pretty good job in this game. The point is, you see, his units stay together because he grouped them together. Same for Winnetou, and look how small area that he is controlling. At the same time, look how big area I am controlling. And can he exploit the way that I spread so much? He cannot. He can try, of course, but if his infantry move, I can easily go back. I can go back from him. So the only way he can really target my units is to use his cavalry. But look at this. Either he sees this Naginata Warrior Monks and Bulletproof Samurai, or it would be Nadachi with Yari Samurai support in my other build, like other composition. He cannot easily destroy any of these small forces. If he tries, he will have to pay a very big price for that. Because his cavalry charges, fights with the spears, my cavalry comes. So I can allow myself to leave these gaps, and using smaller force, I cover bigger area, which is sort of full of the samurai idea. But I used it on that game against Prussian Prince, and I lost. I used like one very strong Shogitai on one flank, 150 on other, and sort of a small Miller Rush core in the middle, and I was covering quite a lot of area that way. But I completely abandoned that idea. Like, well, I don't always, I'm not the smartest one here. But then again, after watching this video of Indie Pride, like I got enlightened again. Thank you, Bravier, for that. He reminded me of this idea, and not like reminded, but I mean, it wasn't completely finished in my head. I kind of got some feeling of this, but I never put it in words. And now I can put it in words. Organize your army in autonomous like any big army, you have divisions. Like this is your divisions, combinations of units that complement each other, and that you want to be together at all time. Other thing that it helps me, of course, I don't know if I mentioned it, obviously by having such a small chunks that can easily be split together. In team games it's especially important because I can easily go and help Russian Prince with some of my units without actually screwing up my overall formation. And what I'm doing now here, it doesn't really matter for my army organization, but it's important for my game plan. Since my game plan is to be an heir and to kind of use my matchlocks to maximum potential of them, what I want to do from the beginning is to destroy his cavalry. How do I do so? It wouldn't be smart for me to engage with his cavalry here, because then he kind of use his infantry to support his cavalry, and then he gets closer to my infantry, and I have to take a fight. I don't want it. So I sent my cavalry here, even giving up uphill advantage. He have uphill advantage and he will destroy my Naginata warrior monks, but then my Spears of Shizugataki would save the day. In any case, the point is, I'm fighting here for a very specific reason. I want Secundus to choose. If he wants his infantry, looks at this Naginata warrior monks level 5. If he wants to help his cavalry, he have to send his infantry away from me. You see? And what is happening now, if I micro my cavalry well enough, which I'm not doing perfectly, what will happen? This infantry, it will not even come to play. And it will not be able to participate in main fight. So I basically, and overall I did sort of mistake. Overall, I want to have, but it ended up well. I baited his cavalry and destroyed it, and that's what I wanted. Because if he have no cavalry, I can deal with him easily. Like, there is still problem with his bows and with his general, which have bow enabled, but I can deal with it because I have mounted guns, I have 3 matchlocks, and then I'm not that afraid of his strong infantry because I don't need to fight it. I can go away in different directions, as I was talking about. So with some sloppiness, I still managed to do very important thing here. He have Yariki level 3, Yari Samurai level 3 and Naginata warrior monks level 5 away from his main force. And he lost all of his cavalry because, well, I had the Spears of Shizugataki. And by the way, he have some hero units too as well. Oh, he has this Terkus. And I believe he has some katana heroes hidden in the forest. In any case, Winnetou started attack on Prussian Prince, and let me slow down because this is quite important. And Prussian Prince called for help and decided to took this fight. Like, probably in 1v1 this isn't smartest idea. Well, it's not a good idea at all in 1v1, because he gives up uphill advantage against his opponent, who have a spear build, basically spear build, and no cavalry. So it's obvious that Winnetou would generally destroy Prussian Prince. But look at what point he takes the fight. He takes a fight in such a way that Winnetou went past this dojo, archery dojo. And what happens? I'm closing around this unit coming, and this will hit him from side. And if we look here at Secundus, look how spread up he. He lost his cavalry, so he cannot help his teammate. He spread out some of his infantry in this corner. And here, if he tries to go and help his teammate, what happens? I have this small contingent to slow him down and charge downhill. Like, this is a power of team game, and this is possible not because we're so special. Of course, Prussian Prince is a very strong player. But, yeah, you see, lately we were playing a lot of team games like me, Prussian Prince, Rixisten, Majuts, Bravier Plenar, Boss Tycoon, and a lot of people who we invite. And that's what happens when you play against very strong opponents. You start to read this stuff very easily. And we instantly see the weakness of our opponents just because we played so much against much stronger opponents. Like, even I can tell, well, I'm not that bad actually at reading the game, I'm bad at controlling it, but in any case, this is what looks like a disaster for 1v1 game, would soon will turn out in a devastating loss for our opponents. Look, he is destroying Prussian Prince. He even getting to his general who is in stand and fight, and I'm sleeping here. I mean, come on, wake up, Zaript, wake up. Why are you sleeping? But, well, I'm sleeping because I'm slowing down Secundus here. But I guess I will wake up soon. Will I? Will I? Wake up! Wake up! What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Oh, finally. In any case, we will not even lose General of Prussian Prince. But what happens? Look, I will zoom out. Look. Man, this is beautiful. Completely surrounded Winnetou, who don't even know what to attack. Look, he tries to go in different directions, and he have matchlocks all around him. And now he is attacking uphill. And he have both general pestering him, and look, suddenly he disappears, like his army just evaporates from a field. And look at Secundus. He still have pretty strong infantry contingent, but that infantry contingent, this Shinsegu, this swordsman, Seigen swordsman, this level 5 Naginata warrior monks, this Naginata warrior monks level 5, they all useless, because what they do, I throw 2 units at them. Naginata warrior monks, this one, well, sword attendants, and this bulletproof samurai. Expensive sacrifice? Yes, it is. But we destroyed the whole army of his teammate, and he couldn't do anything. He couldn't help. And now look, he lost his general to my bow general, and he only have bow cavalry left, and no cavalry anymore. And look at 1, 2, 3 matchlocks for me, 1 matchlock for Prussian Prince, 2 matchlock for Prussian Prince. He still have mounted gunners, which is completely unneeded in this game. And my mounted gunners, well, they were useful. Look, 255 kills, but in general, like, we didn't need it the way we played. I mean, Secundus right now have no tools to stop us from retreating. And we will do what I was explaining earlier. We will go just position ourselves around and move back in different directions. And there is one thing I don't like about Shogun 2 user interface. Like, when you use second unit in your group disappears. Like, I cannot click 5 and choose this matchlock Ashigaru. When they were matchlock Ashigaru with Naginata attendants, it was okay. Naginata attendants died, and now I don't have a group. My finger remember it, but I don't have a group, which is pretty annoying. Like, I don't know why would they do that. Yeah, game is pretty much over, and really, this grouping is what saved the game. And honestly, it wasn't that clear plan as I describe it right now. At some point, Prussian Prince was like, okay, hit him from a side, I'm fighting. I was like, what? Like, I was managing my cavalry here. What? Oh my! Click, go, continue managing my cavalry. Why is it possible? Because instead of one big group, I had 2 small ones. And overall, why? It's not like this is the only way to kind of group your army together. Of course it's not. But your army organization should somehow reflect your game plan. And my game plan is this one. And I learned it because I was watching this, mainly Majuts and Bravier Plenar playing. It's sort of full of the samurai style approach. And of course, it still have some problems. It's difficult to deal with a forest camp with a bow in the middle, like spear box with a bow in the middle camping in a forest. It's pretty difficult to deal with, but still possible. And I had a great success with this organization, with this game plan on a ladder. Like, I have around 80 win rate on vanilla from what I count. And before that I have like 50 because I didn't know how do I deal, like someone rushes me with infantry corps and I have this one big blob and I try to run away from him and I can do nothing. Now, just because I reorganized my army, I basically have the same units, same build, but organized in a different way. And suddenly, I can control almost whole map, and I don't. And if he tries to attack me, I pull back one side, but other units still can shoot. They can still hit, it's very important, guys. It's really important. And for some reason, I don't see many guides on that. I don't see many commentators and casters and tutorial makers talk about it. You can see something like it was very important for me just long ago when I watched Bushido tutorials from Pointman. It was very interesting to see that he uses grouping like for spear levies to mid shield for his shogitais, right? Very basic idea. But I never seen or listened, maybe I missed something, anyone go so deep into explaining why is it working. And that's why I think what Indie Pride started with, Bravia Planar and Boss Tycoon, is very important. So go watch it, show them some love, because it's interesting and it can make your efficiency in battle so much higher if you can adapt these ideas, if you can adapt your game plan and like reorganize your army in a better way. I hope it helps you. I mean, I hope it will. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you soon.